I go through that with French. I go through like they make me do tech demos in French. I'm like, I don't know all the computer stuff in French. Like every
Yeah,
computer term has a weird French word for it. It's not like direct translations and stuff. It's
no,
like
no,
that
me
stuff.
neither.
So it's like you just end up, speaking whatever language. But also like I just think it's like an interesting idea. Like to summarize the French parts of that was like everybody's mad multicultural, mad diverse, super French, but they are kind of in this double-edged sword situation where the multiculturalism is creating a dynamic where people don't want to integrate.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you
It's from
actually?
both.
So how do you approach that?
Well, how do I approach that? Is to give access to, like, for example, free French classes. There's a program that I saw that some students from University of Montreal would go to restaurants, actually in Codeneige, like Shish Kebab and another one like a Filipino restaurant down the hill, and they would give the owner a class of French, a French class, because they don't even speak, like the business owner himself doesn't speak French well. They obviously speak English, but they don't speak French, for example. And so you have, like, there's a program that exists where students from University of Montreal go for like an hour to each business, and they give them a class for an hour in French. That's kind of a good, so that exists, but it has nothing to do with the city. It's like a program with the university. So maybe make this program something that is, free, first of all, for everyone, and that everyone can have access to. Another way could be, like, could think of so many ideas, so many programs, but the main thing is the idea,
Can the
you know?
city launch programs? Because when I talked to all the other people, they all like kind of deflected to, well, all these programs exist and I can guide people to them. So I mean, is the city like able to actually like I guess create a program, or is it more like the best role for the city and this is to organize existing programs?
But what they can certainly do is fund those programs. They can delegate the
Hmm.
organization to local
Okay.
community centers, but at least fund them, because the main problem, as we know, is the funding.
No, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
then you get some level of discretionary budgets and all that stuff and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that I would like to work on is make sports available to everyone, like if like someone wants, like kids want to play hockey, just involve kids in sports at a young age, start them young with sports, with dancing, with any cultural or artistic activity that they feel like doing, because it is expensive. I see my brother with his kids, like a karate class and karate, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. It is expensive. I think that not a lot of people are able to, or if you live like in a neighborhood with like social housing, the HLM, you're not gonna have enough money to put your kids in those classes. It should be free for all kids. That way they don't stay in the streets. So instead of funding the police, maybe invest on the long term in these kids
Right.
from a young age. And you're not going to see the results right away, of course, obviously. But at least, they're busy doing sports. They're busy doing something. They don't have like time to stay in the streets and like to meet perhaps bad people.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess in the same way, it would be just a matter of finding the right programs and delegating funds towards that and enhancing whatever exists.
Mm. I mean, the problem is not the ideas. There are a lot of ideas, and young people have a lot of millennials, have a lot of good ideas,
Yeah.
have a lot of
Let's give Gen
uh,
Z their credit because Gen Z's got way better
yeah,
ideas.
true, 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 true. Yeah, but I mean, let's start with the millennials. We'll talk about it after. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, millennials have good ideas too. I've just been thoroughly fucking impressed by like 18-year-olds coming up with ideas
I
that
know.
I'm like, I should have thought of that myself, but I didn't because I'm in
They
my
make us feel so
30s now.
old. I know. They make us feel old. I know.
It's what it is. TikTok made me feel old actually. When I
Yeah.
had to like when I got to the video editor step, I'm like, I don't know how to think of TikToks. And then I'm watching everybody do it, and I'm like, nah, I'm out. This is it. This is the new phase of life.
I'm just gonna accept it and go on.
Yeah, I'll find young people. That's the new move. Young people can be creative like that for me, and then I'll work with young people to have better ideas.